Hey, it's Jonathan English with the Casual Nerds, and we got another week of comics coming at you.
John from John's Comics, and as John mentioned, we definitely got another week of comics coming at you. We'll start off.
They just don't. It's like it happens every week. It's weird.
It does, you know. It's
Wednesdays. Weird.
You know, it's not like when you go buy CDs or something and
It comes out every Tuesday.
Yeah, every Tuesday. Yeah. Nothing like that.
No.
Anyways, last week we had an atrociously huge week by Marvel. This week, not so atrocious.
Not. It's still a lot of comics, but not like last time.
No. Got some good ones, got some bad ones, got some okay ones. So we'll start off with New Ultimates issue 5. Loeb and Cho finally finished this arc. I think Mark Miller's done about 3. And they're finally finishing their first. It's not a bad ending to the whole arc with Loki starting all kinds of crap. We know a couple issues ago Thor was in the Asgardian version of hell. I think it's spelled H-E-L or something like that.
Yeah.
But he makes his way back, crazed Thunder God, and there's going to be hell to pay. People get killed. Overall, it's a decent ending to the story. I was a little disappointed with the art. Usually Cho's really on the mark, especially drawing ladies, because there's a lot of ladies in the story arc.
You'd think as long as it took to come out.
Yeah, exactly. The issue felt really rushed. I gotta say, if you picked up the first 4 issues, might as well finish it off. If not,
Just leave it as it. You're gonna finish it off.
yeah, we'll have the Ultimates versus the New Ultimates.
We got Amazing Spider-Man number 653. I really don't know where they're going with this. You know, it continues off the story of the last one with the Spider Slayers coming after the J. Jonah Jameson's family. It's just seems like just another filler story that they're not really sure what they're going to go with. Scorpion's back though; he's bigger, better than ever, but still just not sure. No. You like Spider-Man, you're gonna get it.
It's been a good read thus far, and we know with the writers having to do 5 to 6 issue story arcs for everything, so they can get collected in a trade.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a little bit of filler here and there.
And that's pretty much what this feels like.
Marvel ends another title this week with Thor. Yes, another Thor book out there. This was the one that was done by Bianchi and is it Rhodey or Rodi? But nonetheless, it's the end of the series. We know that Asgard was going through some difficult times and a winter unlike they'd ever seen. Odin was missing. Thor couldn't pick up his hammer. A little Asgardian Viagra there, but
So compensating.
we know that it's the end of the story arc for this series, which was really good, guys. The art was great, except this issue again, it feels rushed, like Marvel had to get it out. And unfortunately the art suffers a little bit, but it's a good ending with the return of Odin. Of course, we knew Thor wasn't going to stay dead from the previous issues, and a happy ending for Thor and his hammer.
That sounds wrong, but so right. Alright.
It's on the cover.
Alright, we are on to Iron Man Legacy, number 11. What the hell's wrong with you guys, Marvel? I mean, this is kind of a sad week for Marvel. Especially after everything they threw out there. Legacy, it's continuing with the Illuminati story, but so kind of convoluted and just But the story, it starts off kind of, this one starts off weak. Get Invincible Iron Man. Yeah, just stick with that.
Yeah, Marvel's got a lot of Iron Man titles out there. They were hoping to capitalize with the success of the movie, launch another monthly. It hasn't performed. Yeah, it's just not there. Back to the Marvel Ultimate Universe with Ultimate Thor issue 4. Now, for all you guys that were fans of Mark Miller's first Ultimates run, very good if you didn't get a chance to read those first 12 issues, but that was the Ultimates versus Ultimate Hulk. And
yeah.
Well, this takes us back to that time period when they were discovering Thor, and we all thought he was a crazy hippie with powers and we didn't know if he was insane or if he really was Thor.
I liked that Thor.
This kind of clears up where that Thor came from, if he really is Thor, and where the powers came from and everything. So all in all, it's an interesting read. If you're into Ultimate Thor, well, it's definitely worth picking up. The art's decent. Like you mentioned, though, it does kind of take away. We kind of like not knowing where he came from, and this kind of tells us. So.
Yeah, I liked the original Ultimates. It had more of a human-based reality feel to it. Now they're kind of going out there.
Yeah, well, you know, Marvel, you got Thor coming out soon.
Yeah. Rushing all those Thors out.
Yeah, gotta tie everything in.
Deadpool. Buy it. Hilarious all the way through. I couldn't stop laughing reading this one. Basically, it's Deadpool celebrating Cable's death in only the way that Deadpool can celebrate. Hilarity ensues. And there's Lady Gaga. Lots of Lady Gaga.
Yeah, definitely. Were you Gaga fan? It wouldn't be a Marvel week if we didn't mention Wolverine at least once, maybe twice. Well, he was in plenty of the team books last week, and now we're looking at his son's book. And we have Dark Wolverine issue 5. So far, Daken's faked his death. He went to the Fantastic Four for help, supposedly that was going to turn a new leaf, and we know he's actually wanting to follow in the footsteps of Romulus and not be a supervillain, but rule the universe or the world from the shadows. Ooh. So this issue kicks off with him visiting his father's old stomping grounds in Madripoor. Actually, it's written by Way. The art is really decent, and it's a good story. Kind of cerebral. You got to read it. It's not a lot of action and chopping up. Daken's a lot different than his father. I definitely recommend picking this one up. It's been real interesting. A great opportunity to start it too. Marvel a couple weeks ago released a must-have with the first 3 sold-out issues collected in 1 volume. So that's a good place to check it out if you haven't. I recommend Dark Wolverine.
Now on to the actual Wolverine, the best there is. This series is amazing. This is how Wolverine should be. Blood, guts, and gore. Straight up balls to the wall Wolverine. The story's getting really interesting now. He's being captured by these people who are unkillable. Basically, it's going to go forth from there. They want a favor from him, and you really need to read it to find out what they want him to do. But definitely, definitely good.
For all you fans of Juan Jose Rip, it is a very, very cool book because of his very graphic style.
Yes.
All you Warren Ellis fans that were checking out things like Black Summer, No Hero, anybody who's a fan of Avatar, even some of the RoboCop stuff that they did early on.
Yes.
His art is just tremendous. It's good to see that Marvel's picked up a good artist, and hopefully they don't ruin him like they have so many others. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Girl, issue 3. Dealing out with the fallout of her father's passing because of little to do with the Red Hulk. This book's kind of reaching. It's basically an issue where she's going back and reflecting on what's happened to her in the last couple of issues, mainly the last 2 issues. You think she's been around for 5 or 6, but there was a one-shot, and she did appear in some backups with Nomad and some of the Young Avengers stuff, or Young Allies, excuse me.
Yeah.
But nothing really big happens in this issue. If you're a Spider-Girl fan, you're probably going to pick it up. Other than that, not very highly recommended. We all missed the amazing Spider-Girl, which was a really, really good run.
A lot better.
Yeah, Mr. Falco.
Alright, finishing up with Marvel is the Invincible Iron Man. This is the Iron Man you need to be reading. This is a very wordy issue, but it goes into a lot of the human side of Tony Stark's. The writing in this is just amazing. Really no Iron Man to it. It really delves into Tony Stark's backstory, but definitely, definitely good. The art style in this too is just really good. It works with what it needs to do.
And that is a .1 issue, correct?
Yes, this is Marvel's 500.1.
For those of you that aren't familiar with the .1, DC earlier this year, or actually, excuse me, at the end of last year, with the Tough Times, declared that they were going to roll back their prices and hold the line at $2.89.
Yes.
Marvel's trying to get readers on board, although not committing to any price cuts, by doing .1 issues. They're strategically placing and pricing certain books to be key jump-on points so the public can check them out at a reduced price and hopefully jump on board and stay on for the duration of the year, because these .1 stories are setups for the rest of the arc for the year. And you know, like you mentioned, this one is definitely worth picking up. Fraction, amazing Iron Man ride.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll go a little